So here's our bombshell one, the one I think you guys might like as well. So let's head south, where states like Texas, Arizona, and Florida are flipping DC the bird and locking down their borders their way. This could okay, so let's stop pretending this is just politics as usual. What we're witnessing in America right now isn't partisanship. It's a cold civil war. Again, if you notice the narrative of all these, it's just showing you how we're falling apart piece by piece. We have all of these news stories that are popping up, but nobody's connecting the dots to say, look, big red truck. Okay? So, big red truck. All right? State governments are actively defying federal authorities. Red states are nullifying federal laws. Blue states ignored Trump's immigration orders, and courts are getting dragged into every fight. This isn't about left versus right anymore. This is about who governs the country. Back in the 2000s, rebellion was just a noise. Protesters marched, Congress yelled, but everyone stayed in their lane. Now, governors are setting up border task force like they're their own country. States are fighting over legitimacy of elections before they even happen. And worst part, no one agrees who's in charge. Trump's building a power base in the states. Biden's team, even out of office, is still pulling strings through backdoor channels, agencies, and global partners. So this is a real-time constitutional warfare, okay? The average American really has no idea, as I was saying, really has no idea how deep it's gotten. So let's break it down. Okay, so my buddy, I have a little bit of knowledge because I know somebody that works with the governor's office of Texas, and yeah, the militias and the governments and stuff like that. That's going on. That's been going on for a minute. Okay. But that was actually what anyways, the ones that concern me most is the one out of Louisiana. Okay, so this is a sanctuary battle, and it's going to going into the courts. I'm not sure if it's going into the Supreme Court just yet, but right now in the state of Louisiana, you have the state that just passed state legislation that says that you got to comply with all state agencies, and this is our immigration policy, and these are our laws, and this is how we're going to act. And because New Orleans is a sanctuary city, they are saying, oh, well, we don't have to, and so now they're suing the sheriff of the Parish County because they're not following orders. And so the question is being asked is, well, at what point? Because the states are trying to take over immigration for themselves. Okay, they're putting up their own border task force. They're doing their own thing. Okay, so now they're trying to act independent. But then you've got the cities that are trying to act independent, which means everybody's trying to act on their own accord. So if you guys remember the times of the city states, this is something that could happen depending upon the outcome because of how this unravels things. Because what it does is it says that if it were to rule in favor of the parish, it would say that state power is nullified. It is up to the local city and county to decide how to run itself. So it is no longer a subordinate. It gets to operate autonomously. What that means, operating autonomously, means that New Orleans can do whatever it wants. It's not held to Louisiana standards if it wants to make those changes, if it wants to do things, if it wants to set it up. And so this would be a complete unraveling, because then it would also justify what the states are doing, which is providing their own border security with their own militias and things like that. I've seen Apaches. They come fly over my head every once in a while when they're doing patrols. It's kind of interesting. It kind of spooked me out the first time I saw them, but they come by. They come by every so often. I went after a couple of times. I went out and I looked at them. I'm like, oh wow. But yeah, I mean, they're patrolling our border. We have a military presence on our border. I'm probably about 150 to 200 miles from the border. So you got to realize, if they overrun the military, we're screwed. I'm first. I'm like the first wave of like crap. So this is stuff that's happening, and the states are defying, and the states started defying when Obamacare was passed. Hey, what's up, Kung Fu? When Obamacare was passed, that's when the states started defying. That's when the red states started taking it, and we had like 26, 27 states. I think we even had almost enough to make it unconstitutional for the healthcare mandate. But as each one goes, see, each one sets precedents for the next one. But at the end of the day, this really boils down to, this is a fight between the Tea Party and the Occupy Wall Street. Biden and Bernie Sanders and that camp, that is the representation of the Occupy Wall Street movement. Donald Trump is the embodiment of the Tea Party movement. He is the closest thing to a Tea Party candidate you will ever get. Unless Rand Paul wins presidency, he's the closest thing you'll ever get to a Tea Party candidate. Okay, so let's see what the crowd has to say. You hear that? Those are helicopters.